Hi everybody, this is Susan Elliott with another installation of starting your own soap business. As I've said in previous videos, I spent a year studying this and I'm trying to pass my learning on to you because it was very hard for me to find the information when I needed it. I could find 1,000 recipes, I could find 1,000 different formulations, but I couldn't find out how to run a successful soap business. So I'm bringing you some of my tidbits. The first thing you need to do is to be organized. And many of us soapers just plunge into the idea of making soap because it's so much fun. And we can be so organized with our oils and our butters and our scents and our colorants. But when it comes to anything that doesn't have to do with the actual thing of making soap, we're terrible at. Now I want to show you what I use. I use Cambridge notebooks. I don't work for them. They're not endorsing me. They don't sponsor me. I might put an affiliate link on my site, but I have depended on Cambridge notebooks for years. Now one of the reasons is this is one of my well-worn recipe books. You can see this is all smuts all over it, but all of my recipes are in there. Now I'm going to go through another video and how I screwed up keeping track of my recipes, because if there's a mistake to be made in the soaping business, I have made it. Trust me on this. But one of the things that I learned is that when I went back to my notebooks a year later, I was able to garner from them exactly what I did right and exactly what I did wrong. Now, in the year that I was away from the soap making business, I went through 3 different computers, and most of the things that were on those computers are not recoverable. So if you do things in Excel, if you do things in Word, if you do things in other programs on the computer, please print them out, put them in a good sturdy notebook that is going to take a beating. If you go, and this is a relatively new one, Cambridge Limited, if you go and you price these, they're expensive. But the covers are hard, the paper is quality. You can staple things, you can tape things, you can write things, and they will really keep you organized. So the first thing you need to do is to get a system together. Whether it's on the computer, whether it's in a file cabinet, whether it's in a notebook. Decide how you're going to do it. And have a redundant system. Meaning, if you're going to do everything on the computer, please back it up. Back it up once a day. Once a week, once a month is not going to cut it at the rate that some people make soaps. When I was at the height of my soap making business, I was making 4 loaves a day. If I didn't keep track of those recipes, and I didn't, this is one of the hard lessons that I learned. You lose it, it's gone forever. And I have soaps that I absolutely love and could not replicate if my life depended on it. So the very first thing you want to do is to get yourself some notebooks, and I have stacks and stacks of them. And when I would see something on the internet that I liked, print screen, people would send me labels and I would print them out, put them in a notebook. Here's my label notebook. Here's my recipe notebook. Here's my cost notebook. But I also kept another notebook, and I still do this, by me, so that I'd be going along. I'd be looking for what's the best uses for Optifen Plus. And then I come across a recipe, an idea, a label, something. Jot it down in my notebook. Then later on I would transfer it to the notebook that it needs to be. And if I want to hold on to it, I mean, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I say, oh, that's a great idea. And I write it down, and then later on I'd be like, I really don't want to do that. And that happens to me all the time because we all watch these soaping videos. We all read these soaping recipes. We love them. We want to do them. That looks beautiful. I want to try it. And then we're going through and we're like, you know what? This isn't going to go into my line. So we'll discard this idea. I don't have to transfer it anyway. Now, what I have behind me is something that I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about in depth. Everything that I'm sort of popping around about here, I'm going to talk in depth about in other videos. But these are my scent pieces. What I do is I take the Brownie Bites silicone mold that I'm sure most of you have, that I've used for melt and pour, I've used for candle tarts, I've used for soap scrubs, the little tiny soap scrubs where you use melt and pour and scrubs. And what I do is I put 1 or 2 pipettes of scent into it and put clear melt and pour, mix them around, and then I label them, and these are sheets of Cambridge notebook paper, and I label them, and in the notebook, the number corresponds to the supplier that I got it from, how long I've had it, and what other scents it could possibly combine with. Now, a lot of times I will take something like this and I will say, okay, this is French vanilla. I got this one from Nature's Garden. I really like this smell. I really do. What can I combine it with? Well, I see a lot of French lavender. So here is French lavender vanilla, also from Nature's Garden. They've already combined it. This is a little too strong on the French vanilla, on the lavender flowers for me. So I take lavender flowers. I put them together. I like my formulation better. 2 parts French vanilla, 1 part lavender flowers. I like that. Okay? I write it down. This is the formulation. Every single time I make that lavender vanilla soap, scrub, whatever, that's the formula. If I get French vanilla and lavender from other places, I replicate it exactly the same way that I did with Nature's Garden. And I say, oh, I like this one better, or I like Nature's Garden vanilla better than this one, but I like this person's lavender better. I mix it up. You don't want to spend your entire life doing this because it could take forever. And sometimes you will find that you just don't like the scent that you really liked out of the bottle. You don't like the way it's performing in soap. So this is an example of the work that you have to do in formulating your products. You have to have your scent spot on. And I've told other people this, and I might mention in another video, but I would go into my garage and I kept thinking that there was an animal going to the bathroom in there. It smelled like my cat's litter box. And I knew my cat wasn't going in there, so I thought it was a mouse or a squirrel or something. Then when I was doing all of my little scents one day, I noticed this smelled decidedly like the smell I was smelling in my garage. It's a mango. I'm not going to say where it's from because a lot of places have really great mangoes. But I would never think that that smell, because I know it's mango, and when I smell it, I smell mango, but it really was a horrific smell. And I wouldn't want my whole bathroom smelling like that. So sometimes you have to really play around with your scents and see which scents, which are named these wonderful things, berry lemonade, and then it smells like garbage. You want to know. You also want to know if your customers prefer floral scents, berry scents, citrus scents, patchouli, sandalwood, whatever, and offer a cross mix, but don't go crazy. One of the things that I learned in my previous soaping business was I made so many scents, it was ridiculous. I mean, my customers' eyes would be rolling in the back of their heads. They just didn't know what to get when. So choose a core group of scents, and every now and again you can throw in like a new scent that you want to play around with, but you don't need 100 bottles of 16 ounces of every fragrance in the world. So start learning. Put it in your notebook. I got this scent this day from this supplier. This is how much it costs. All these things I'm going to teach you how to extrapolate these in a future video, but for now, make sure that when it comes to scents, because we all go completely crazy over scents, you are doing your own testing. You're not saying, what's your best seller? Because I have people that live in Arkansas who are telling me, everybody down there loves monkey farts. Nobody in New York City is buying things called monkey farts. So it's like they just don't see that as a viable scent. Other people, blue raspberry slush. That's a very popular thing for kids. And I made a lot of the little ducky soaps for the kids with that scent. But in other places and in other trade shows, it's not going to sell. So you have to know, and you have to know what in your area sells. And then if you want to expand your business to the whole country, then you can offer monkey farts and whatever you want. But if I was going to sell monkey farts in New York City, I would call it banana passion. That's what I would call it, not monkey farts. So you have to turn some of these scent names on their head to deal with your particular market when you're out there selling in person. When you're selling on the internet, it doesn't really matter that much. You might want to offer monkey farts and banana passion in this exact same sense and have it in two different places, so that a customer that's turned off by the idea of monkey farts is turned on by banana passion. So anyway, that's this lesson. Get your notebooks. Get things ready. We're gonna talk pricing, we're gonna talk scents, we're gonna talk soap, we're gonna talk everything. So get organized, get ready, and I'll be back. Bye.